Hello, welcome to the Gaming Zone. I'm Chriz, aka the Mole. Joining me for this one is James Phoenix,
Hello.
and we're here to review the 2018 God of War, which this is on the PS4, and yeah, it's the fourth God. Well, more like the sixth or seventh now, but it's like the fourth main God of War, coming after the third one. But yeah, basically,
Does Ascension not count as the main one?
no, because that's like a prequel. Same with the other
Okay.
ones.
Fair enough.
The main ones would be 1, 2, 3, then this one in like that. With the other ones, they're in the same universe, but they're more like they're like side, not important ones.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because Ascension's the only one besides this new one that I haven't played, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. Did not care for Ascension.
Fair.
Thank God this one doesn't have multiplayer like that did, but yay.
That's good.
I'm going to keep the spoilers as a minimum as I can because it's such a story-driven game. But I will give spoilers if I have to on stuff I feel I should mention. Like, I'm not going to complain like, oh, this is the exact dialogue said, or this is how the ending was, or anything like that. No, screw that. But if it's like, oh, he gets insert an item and this is how the item works, I might do that.
That's fair.
Just for people knowing on the internet, I'm going to try to avoid bigger spoilers, but I will stay, just in case you want to avoid them, I'll give my rating now. As I say, I give this game 2 thumbs up. And now I shall go on with the spoilers, and then I'll re-give my score at the end. But yeah, basically, this is the story of Kratos. And now his second wife has just passed away. He's having to take his son on an adventure. And that's where the story begins. His son doesn't know he's a god. It's worth noting that does come up a lot during the parts of this. And there is a reveal when he finally tells his son he's a god, and how his son handles the fact he's part god is kind of cool and neat.
So he is still the God of War then?
Yeah, he's just in a different land.
Okay.
Trying to hide because he's like, the Greek gods have like basically the way this game makes it seem, which makes sense. The Greek gods have authority over Greece and all that area and that realm. But then there's multiple realms throughout like a multiverse thing, and he's jumped to the like this one where it's like the Norse gods have the rights of way and stuff. So that's and he tries to live a normal life.
Fair enough.
It's worth noting he does bring his son up to hate gods, is what he tries to make him do anyway. But his wife sees the good in gods and has been telling the son good stories, so the son doesn't hate gods. He's actually intrigued by him a little bit and kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, but he treats him with like a childlike curiosity. Like he wants to think, he thinks, well, there must be good gods. So which is, well, to be fair, Kratos.
To be fair, Kratos murdered every other god. Does that really make him a good god?
So did your god.
Okay.
Your god literally flooded the earth, killing millions, if you believe the Bible. Told someone, oh, by the way, I'm all powerful. I can use my powers for absolutely anything in the world. But if you turn around, I'm going to use all that power to turn your wife to salt because fuck you.
God, yeah, that's Old Testament God. Old Testament God is a dick. New Testament God is cool. He sent his son to hang out with us. It was cool. It was cool.
Yes, and this, as you all noticed, isn't called God of War 4. This is New Testament Kratos. He settled down and had a son.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense now.
Fair enough. Yes. Okay, cool. Moving on.
But yeah, that's basically what this is. Yeah, Kratos was bad, but to be fair, he's a bad guy. He's a good guy in an action game. He's going to kill.
Yeah.
And he does in this. But you also get to deal with his son killing for the first time in the game, which is cool. And at the start of the game, he has an axe, and you hold one button and you can throw the axe, or you can use strong or weak attacks and stuff, which is cool. I do like that. Then later on in the game, something, I'm not going to say what, pushes Kratos to the point where he's like, F this, basically, and gets the old blades of chaos and wraps them back around his arm so he gets the old blades back.
Thank you, God. Okay.
No, God of War, not the God of thank yous. But yeah, But yeah, he does do that. I'm not going to tell you what's in that scene. It is very fan service when he does, which is cool.
I can
But
imagine.
he gets them back. And they've used a new system. So like you can throw them and sort of do like a scorpion, go over here and just yank them to you.
Nice.
Because let's face it, the sword on a string. Why shouldn't he do that? He's got a load of the old stuff like that, which is cool as hell to do that. But the kid is equipped with a bow and arrow, and they have various stuff too. Like they can create light bridges for you to walk across.
So the kid is
How he
playable.
gets them, I won't spoil. No. He's a side character, but you can manipulate his actions. Like you can point at stuff and press square, and he'll fire the correct bow or the correct arrow. Or the arrow you've equipped it. Like one of them does like light bridges. One of them does like hit something and it makes it go and it explodes, which comes into play with the puzzles. Like some of the puzzles in this one, you throw Kratos' axe at the right time and it stops the gear. And then you have to, I mean, that'll come into play because when you pull it out with the button that just makes it go and walk back to his hand, the gear then moves. So some of those puzzles will be like stopping at the right time, moving to the next place, pulling it out, stopping it again, and doing it again, and just stuff like that, which is cool.
Cool.
Like to do bridges, he yanks down the chain and goes, and throws it to hold the bridge in place. Then you can cross and pull it off and stuff. It's pretty cool. And yeah, the sun has advantages when he's in combat too. Like if you press, not in non-combat, if you press certain buttons, he can kick down like a chain or something for you to climb up if he's squeezed through the little gaps and stuff. So that's cool. It's sort of like he's a sidekick, but he never gets in your way.
That's good.
Because I know a lot of games have sidekicks that get in your way.
Yeah.
You can press a button and fire his arrows, and it can stun enemies too. And some enemies require you to make your son shoot them to stun them out of like warping and teleporting round, and then you can beat the hell out of them and just go full Kratos on them, which is cool.
Nice.
One complaint I will say is that there's a lot of same-ish bad guys.
Okay.
I don't mean that in too much of a bad way, but you know how there's usually like an end of level boss and it's like a god or something like that?
Yeah.
This one does have them, and they are cool. Like one of them is just an amazing fight against Alistair Black from NXT.
Nice.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna. No, but he does look like him.
Okay.
Another one is against the Sons of Thor and stuff like that. So you got like loads of different gods that you can go against, which is cool. And but as well as them, there's also just giant trolls, and the only thing that changes on them is whether or not they're fire, ice, and you know what I mean, basic stuff to just make them slightly more powerful.
Question.
And there's a lot of these though. There's a lot of them, like more so, and I've noticed in the others, and they serve as like mid bosses, and they're just irritating.
I don't know. Do the Sons of Thor have hammers?
They have weapons.
Okay.
But to be fair, Thor is still alive.
True. I was gonna say if they had hammers, you missed a Bludgeon Brothers joke, but fair enough.
Yep. Although to be fair, saying Bludgeon Brothers and then the word joke is redundantly redundant.
This is true.
But yeah, it's a case of there's 4 children in this and stuff, and there's various other gods, like a god of knowledge and all this other stuff. And you meet a nice woman who helps you on your trip. I'm avoiding spoilers of who she is or anything like that. But
I could, knowing the franchise, I could take a wild guess. But moving on.
It's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
It's something really nice. But yeah, basically, I can tell you after this. But yeah, basically, she helps you learn to basically use the winds that they do and various other stuff and also control Midgard, which lets you then whiz around all the different areas of this realm. So it's like a hub, basically, where you can teleport into that hub, go to that hub, then teleport around to the other worlds through there.
That's good.
Which is handy, yeah. There's giant dragons to slay. There's 2 brothers who are really fucking funny.
Okay.
They're basically blacksmiths.
Okay.
And they don't like each other anymore.
Okay.
So when one brother's worked on your weapon, when you meet the other one, he's like, what did he do? Hang on. No, this is an upgraded axe. No, this is an upgraded axe. No, this is an upgraded axe. to constantly try and outdo each other. And sometimes it's not even upgraded. They just do it and like, here you go, and nothing's changed. And like, no, trust me, it's more centered now. And you're like, no. But that's the thing with them. There's loads of like puzzles and chests and stuff to unlock, and you do them in different ways. Like you find a chest which has, like the stuff that extends your health and your magic and all that. Has those style chests as well. And what those ones do is you get like puzzles, like shoot all the targets around the arena to unlock each key if it's on it. Or there's ones where you have to hit all the bells, but they have to ring at the same time. Like if one of them stops, so it's basically a speed one. If one of them stops ringing, you have to repeat the whole thing. Which is fine. It's a puzzle. It's meant to be a little challenging.
Yeah.
There is other chests too, because this game has a lot more like armor and equips and better skill trees and various other stuff that you have to do. So that's cool as hell. And yeah, I like the dynamic. I like Kratos and his son's dynamic. I laugh at the fact Kratos doesn't know his name. I will just say that now. Well, he does know his son's name, in case people take that seriously. That's a joke, but he does spend most of the game, at least so far on it, he spends most of it just calling him boy. He's like, here, boy. Come, boy. Boy, go do this. Boy, go do that. And you're like, he has a name. At this point, he has a name. You're his dad. Call him by his name. And but there is touching moments. Like there's a moment where his son's upset about something, and Kratos stands next to him, and you actually see him put his hand up like he's about to pat him on the back, and it's like, oh, like he doesn't really know how to do this. So as the game's progressing, you're seeing him becoming a nicer Kratos, even more so, and you're seeing the son deal with all the stuff happening to him. And like I mentioned, like the son find out he's part god. At one point makes him arrogant as fuck. Like really arrogant. Like the boy's like the son, the boy. No, it's like the son's like basically going around, and Kratos is like, why did you do that to that poor guy? He's like, why do I care? It's like, because he was an innocent person. It's like, so I'm a god. I can do what I like. Their lives mean nothing to me. I'm a god. But as he's doing that, you see him. You know what I mean? Like he it's just because it's all woken him at once. He's now got like a god complex, for lack of a better term. And Kratos is helping bringing him down and telling his son, "No, you can't think like this. That'll make you one of the gods I hate." Which that's cool. But yeah, now I will say they do get one thing wrong in this game, which bugged me slightly. But I don't know if it was intentional or not, because I think it's probably part of Kratos' lies. He tells his son, "Yeah, I was born a god. You were born a god," and you make it like that. And I'm like, Kratos wasn't born a god.
No.
He was born a Spartan whose family died, then eventually went up, fought a load of gods, and became one himself. But I suppose he doesn't want to tell his son, oh yeah, my other wife died, and I went on an adventure like this last time, and I killed everyone in sight, and oh yeah, and I became a god of war. Because you probably, you know what I mean? I could see why they might include that lie about born a god, and you were born a god, and all the other stuff. So I'm okay with this. It's just, when I said that, I was like, no, you weren't. Well, why are you lying? Why are you lying, Kratos? Well, I suppose he's not the god of truth, but yeah, it's a case of, yeah, but I like the different weapons, and you can swap between the axe or the blades. And some enemies are super strong against the axe or super strong against the blade, so you swap to the other one to kill them.
Okay.
The combat and camera, some people don't like it, but it's like a behind the person camera now. I like it. It feels very modern. It looks very cinematic, this whole game.
Cool.
And that fight I was talking about with the guy I joked looked like Alistair Black. I will say that's one of the first times you will meet someone in the game that's a god.
Okay.
And the whole fight is amazingly epic.
Nice.
I believe it's on this channel if you really want to see it, because I believe it's in my first hour of gameplay. I did go against him, so. But yeah, I loved that whole fight. I loved how cinematic it was. I loved how over the top ridiculous it was too, while also being grounded the same way God of War does sometimes.
Nice.
And when I say ridiculously over the top, I mean they're pulling trees out and throwing them at each other, smacking each other, flying up and through a building and stuff. It's like, this is epic. I like this.
Nice.
But yeah, have you seen much of this game?
Just watch some of your aforementioned video gameplay on this channel. Otherwise, not much.
Did you see that fight?
I did not get that far in the video. No.
Fair enough. Did you see what I mean by he keeps calling him boy?
Yeah, I did notice that. No, boy. I told you not to fire unless I tell you to fire.
Yep. Boy. Boy. I'm gonna laugh if this whole time it turns out his son's name is Roy and he just can't pronounce his R's as B's. I'd be okay with that. No, I wouldn't, because he said R's before, but yes. Otherwise he'd be the god of Wob.
Yep.
But yeah, it is a little silly when he keeps calling boy way too much, but I feel like it's part of his thing, his Kratos appeal of he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And he's more distant, but at the same time, I'm like, he's your son. Like, if there's one thing I know about Kratos from the other games, he really loves his family. If he had another child with someone else, I don't think he'd be this hard. I don't think he'd be this hard on him. I think he'd be slightly more calling him by his name, because it would be a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still it's still a pretty good story. It's a great story. I argue to someone, I can't remember who it was, but I said this may be my favorite game in multiple generations.
Cool.
My actual favorite game of all time, just off topic, is Knights of the Old Republic, and that was all the way back on the original Xbox. This is probably my favorite game since. This is probably my favorite game since then.
All right.
I mean, there's a couple I can see coming up there with it, but this is probably my favorite game since then, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably my second or third favorite game of all time.
Nice.
I really like this. It's that good. But I loved all the other Gods of War except Ascension. But I liked all the other Gods of War, including the PSP ones and stuff. This one, I just feel it's really great. They've taken it into a new direction that feels refreshing, very God of War like at the same time in other parts where it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
But just feels like it's something that this generation would appreciate more.
Okay.
Because the thing a lot of people will say, where like some people may criticize, it doesn't feel as much like the original God of Wars as it could.
Mm-hmm.
But I argue they're PS2 games. This is PS4.
Yep.
While you could argue PS2 people will have a PS4, which they will, or they might. That's fine. There's gonna be a lot of players of the original playing this one. There's also going to be a lot of people who haven't played the original, because it's two generations. That probably means there's going to be more. Like, there's some people, or there's some younger people whose first console may have only been PS3.
Yep.
Or, you know what I mean? Because, like, the PS3's life cycle itself was, like, what? About 8 years?
Thereabout, yep.
And then you got more years now, because the PS4's been out since about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
That's older than some people, so I can understand making it feel more for this age and not for the age of the PS2 people, because it's like, I'm just going to say this, even though I know some people like it, and that's fine. I'm not insulting the game. I've already given away my Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Because playing a PS1 game now, and I'm playing it, I'm like, it feels very dated, because as much as it's a remake, the linear and the nature of how the game was is so out of date now. I'm like, there's better platforming stuff out there for me now. I don't need to play through this.
Which is fair.
But I understand there's going to be people who love that game, the original Crash. Like, I did like the original Crash. It just wasn't one of my favorite platformers because I much prefer like the Sonic and the Marios. But yeah, it's a case of there's gonna be some people out there who love them, and that's fine. Like there's people out there who love the original God of Wars, and that's perfectly fine. You can't I love the original God of War, but you have to understand that this franchise needed to change, but it's still the same genre. It's just this generation's version of the genre. This isn't like taking a single player game, making it just multiplayer mainly, or taking a horror game like they did with Resident Evil and turning it into an action game like they did with 5 onwards.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, 7's back to being horror. Gold of that will be played and will be reviewed soon. I'm just finishing off God of War completely before I do that one because I wanted to go through all of one before I get to the other. So yay. But you know what I mean? It's the same genre. It's just this generation's, and I really like that. It's got beautiful music, beautiful voice acting, a great story. Just you know what I mean? Just great gameplay and great visuals, and it's just wonderful. I love this game. I give it 2 thumbs up. Spoiler: when we get to January, I can kind of, unless something like Smash Brothers at the end of the year just knocks it the hell out the park, which I love Smash Brothers. I don't see it overtaking this. I think this is probably gonna get my game of the year next year.
Cool.
And probably multiple awards next year. But yeah,
Probably.
God of War on PlayStation 4. Time to zone out.